Okay, so we're on to the software part now. And to do that, you're going to have to download the IDE, or that's the software that helps us write that code. You can get that for free on the Arduino site here, arduino.cc/n/software. I'll try and put the link below if I remember or forget. Whoops, tell me. You're also going to have to bring in a library. So we're going to use a library called the Adafruit Motor Shield library. You can get this on GitHub. Again, it's free, and you just need to download that. And it also has some examples of code in there, so that if you're not sure with what to program, you can include it. But we'll do a little bit today by ourselves, all right? So you're going to have those two things in order to do the next part. Okay, so what you get when you open your Arduino IDE is going to look something like this. And this is just a new setup, a new page. Now this first part is what happens at the start, and it happens, as it says here, once at the beginning only. And then you've got your main loop, and that's where the code is basically going to repeat that over and over again until power is turned off or whatever. Okay, so these are our two sections. So this is start and then the rest of the time. So I'm going to cheat slightly. I'm going to use something I've already made because, well, why double up? And I'm less likely to make an error here. Okay, so first thing we're going to bring in is we're going to include AF motor shield motor.h, and that is just telling it to use that library that we downloaded before. That's telling it to use this stuff here. So you get AF motor.h. Include everything just in case, but you can see that it's there to help you if you need. And then we're going to set up our different motors. Okay, so using that library, it has special things inside of it, and one of the things we can define is a AF DC motor. Okay, we're going to give it a name. You can call it what you like. I've just called mine motor 1. Maybe once you know how you're going to place your motors, you might do like left front or right front in order to make it easier to remember where everything is. But for now, motor 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then this number tells it which of the ports on the board it's going to use. So if you look on your motor shield, you see it has M1, M2, M3, and M4 for the different motors, and that's telling you which one you're connecting these to. Alrighty, cool. Now I'm also going to set up something here for speed. Now you don't have to do this. You can set the speed up wherever you like, but I'm going to do int speed. And that means I can just have a continuous speed all the way through it. And if I want to adjust it, I just adjust this number, and it's going to change my program. Okay, so just the way I like to do it. You don't have to do it this way. Now 50 is fairly slow. My battery's kind of dying, but so I'm going to go with slow. I think it's up to 255. Please check and let me, yeah, double check. I'm reasonably sure it's 255. Yeah, 256, yeah, 255, 256. Okay, and then we've got different things here. Now, first thing is setting up the serial marker. Now, you don't need this again. This is just so that if you are debugging it later, you can check if things are going correctly. And that's what that does, is it means that when the Arduino is plugged into the computer, it's going to send a signal back to your computer with the information that you've asked it to give. Okay, so we're going to set that up. Likewise, we're then going to set the speed of our motors. Now, the speed of the motors can be changed at any time you like. The speed of the motors can be changed at any time you like. I'm just going to have a continuous speed for mine, but there might be probably good reasons. And you'll notice that it's referring to speed here, which is this variable here. So if I wanted to do it manually, I could have just typed these all as 50, but it's easier just to have speed, and that way if I want to up the speed later, I just change one number rather than having to change all 4. Next part is release. So release basically means just stop. Don't worry about it. Yeah, so stop using it for now. Okay, so that's just saying don't do anything with it for now. Just let it go. Okay, and that's how my setup's going to be. So that's how my motor is going to be set up. All I'm going to do is set up the speed, and that's all. And then let's save it. I don't know why I'm saving it. Anyway. Then in my main loop, I'll come back to that and save it later. Then in my main loop, over here, I can do whatever I like. Now, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to test each motor one by one. And to do this, I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to print to my computer screen what I'm doing. So motor 1. could be called motor 1 test, whatever you like. That way, if the Arduino is doing what it should be, but the motor's not running, then I'm going to be getting a message saying M1, but my motor won't be doing anything. All right. I'm going to tell the motor to go forwards. Okay, so that's the key bit here. Now I don't need that. I deleted that. Used that earlier because it's changing speed. But I'm going to tell the motor to go forwards. So the motor is going to start going forward, and it's going to do it for, I think that's 3,000 milliseconds. Yeah, and then it's going to stop the first motor. Okay, and basically I'm going to do the same thing for all the motors one by one. So you see I print M2 to the screen, I go forward for the time, and then I stop. And then it's going to be the same again, and it's going to be the same again. Yeah. Okay, and then I'm going to bring that up to, whoops, see if we can use the computer properly. Oh, neighbor's dog's going crazy. Maybe it's dinner time. Okay, so I'm going to take that code there and put that into my program here. Now, if I were you, I'd say just go and run ahead with that and just make sure that works. So make sure each of the individual wins is working before you go any further. However, I also added on an extra one, which I guess I should add at any time. It's just basically going to do motor 1, motor 2. I've got all these comments from when I was making this program before. So it's going to basically turn on all 4 motors at once. Now you might be like, but it's doing motor 1 first, and then motor 2, and then motor 4. It's not doing them. Yeah, okay, it's going to be like fractions of a second between them turning on. But basically, this is going to happen so fast. All 4 motors are going to turn on at the same time. And we're going to then wait for the same amount of time. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. We're going to stop all 4 motors. Now that means it's going to... That means they should all 4 turn on at the same time and run for about the same amount of time. Run for the same amount of time, and then stop. Now, what happens after that? Is that the end of the program? No, because you've got to remember that it will go back up to the start again. So it's going to come back around to here. Oh, sorry, it's going to come back around to here and do M1. Now it's going to jump straight into M1, so maybe I want a little bit of a delay. Or do I need a delay? No, I've got a delay here. Should be okay. All right. Okay. Sorry, absolutely no reason I want to do this, but still. Okay, so I'm going to put a little delay in just so you know that it's the end of a full section. Okay, so that's run each motor one by one. Let's go to the beginning again. Okay, so include the library. Define the motors, so tell it which motor's in which port. Define the speed. Set the serial port so that it's going to be reporting back to the computer. Set the speed of all 4 motors equal to 50. Let go of all the motors. Stop. Okay, now they wouldn't be moving at that point, so this is maybe extra, but still, doesn't matter. Okay, and then I'm going to go into my loop, my main loop, and I'm going to print M1 to the screen, and then I'm going to go forwards for 3,000 milliseconds, and then stop. M2, forward, stop. M3, forward, stop. M4, forward, stop. And then all together, all 4 motors should then run and then stop. Easy. Now, what we should do first, before we thingy our sketch, is we're going to have to click this tick button. And it will tell us if the program itself, not the Arduino, but if the program itself is okay. And it's saying, yeah, it is. Success. Okay, then I'm going to plug in my Arduino, and I'm going to press this one. Now, one thing that causes a lot of confusion is this bit up here. So sometimes it doesn't spot your board. So if I plug in a board over here, let's see. If I can find my cable. So I'm going to plug in a board here, and it should hopefully be detected up the top. There we go. Now, I always seem to have this extra one, don't I? Anyway, so you've got this one, and it's coming on my USB, so I know it's that one. If for some reason it's not detected, that's okay. Click Select Other Board, and choose which port it is attached to. Now, if it's not showing up on any port, that means one of two things. Either your computer is not allowing it to connect, or your Arduino is having a big bad day. And you maybe need to try it with a different Arduino, or if the computer is the issue, try it on a different computer perhaps. But it's just that basically if it's not showing up here, then something's gone wrong somewhere, and usually that's a reasonably big problem, all right? So usually it means your Arduino is dead. It's happened to me a couple of times that I've burnt it out and accidental stuff. So yeah, if for some reason you plug it in and it doesn't go, then oh dear. Anyway, so select it from up here. We've got our code, and then I'm going to press this little arrow, and then that arrow is going to upload the code from my computer and put it onto the microprocessor of my Arduino, and it's all done. Okay, and if you want to see the results, I'll do that in a separate video because it saves me having to splice them all together. Okay, hope that helps. See you soon.